radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. Jonathan Dent filling in for Terry today. Terry will be back in the studio tomorrow and even this evening, I believe, for tonight's farm final, but we'll carry on. Quickly looking over at, I'm along with Matthew Lester, by the way. Matthew, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just fine. Hey, it's a great day out there. It's looking like that's going to keep up all week long. A quick look over at the markets. I'm seeing some weird moves, corn down, soybeans unchanged, and wheat up. So we'll have that market report coming up for you. We'll be talking with Abby Terwilliger with the Andersons a little bit later. But first, our weather report for today. Like I said, a great day of weather, a beautiful week of weather shaping up as well. Probably one of the last summer-like stretches we'll get this year. I don't know about you, but I'm planning to get some outdoor work done over the next few days. Today is looking a lot like what we saw yesterday, probably a little bit warmer. The big driver of our weather for this big stretch of nice weather here we're going to have for probably the next week or so. A high-pressure system currently moving very slowly to the north of us, and it'll just keep moving east and staying up to the north of us. So we'll see some shifting winds a little bit over the next few days, and we'll touch on that. But then right after this high pressure system moves across, another one just like it follows it across as well. So pretty standard weather pattern from what we're seeing here today. Today looks a lot like yesterday, only 66 for a high out at the airport, though, despite the sunny skies that we saw all the way through. That was around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Clear skies all night last night, so it did get a little bit brisk. 46 for a low today. That's about where it was when I left the house this morning. It kind of stuck around in that mid-40s range early this morning, and things are starting to warm up a little bit here today, and they'll warm up a little bit more this afternoon. Right now on the thermometer, Matthew, what do we got?
Currently, over at the airport, it's mostly sunny at 62. Over in Midland, it's mostly sunny at 63. Here, Radio Center, it's mostly sunny at 64. We have south winds at 7 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.25, and it's steady.
Yeah, those south winds really going to be changing over the next couple of days, but 7 miles per hour, not really too much of a breeze, and we won't see too much wind either. Sunshine today persisting throughout the day. Our high for today, 75. That slight south wind sticking around. We could see a few clouds in the sky, nothing too organized, and no real threat of any precipitation likely until this weekend, and even then, just a tiny bit. Tonight, the cloud cover starts developing a little bit more. We'll dip down to 50 for a low. Those clouds will stick with us through the morning tomorrow, but then they'll start to thin out as we move on through the rest of the day. Our temperature gets back into the mid to high 70s. We'll call it 78 for a high tomorrow afternoon. Winds becoming a little bit more southwesterly, still very, very light. Partly cloudy skies Wednesday night, a low of 54 degrees, then back up to 76 under sunny skies on Thursday. Throughout the overnight into the day on Thursday, our winds turn a little bit more easterly and northeasterly. That's just that high pressure system that's moving across the Canadian territories to the north of us, going eastward and moving air a little bit more northeasterly for us, but it won't drive our temperatures down like we would see from a lot of northeasterlies usually. Still, in fact, Friday, we're getting up to 80 for a high, then down to 58 for a low overnight and into Saturday morning. Saturday is probably our next best chance to see even a little bit of precipitation. It's not shaping up to be a whole lot, though. Some scattered showers in the afternoon, and we'll still reach up to that 80-degree mark on Saturday. I know it's only Tuesday, but it's not a very eventful weather week, so we'll look ahead towards the beginning of next week already. And it's looking pretty much the same as the beginning of this week. Partly to mostly sunny skies, temperatures reaching up into the mid-70s. So Some nice late summer weather here before the leaves start changing colors in Michigan. What we see today is about what we can expect for the next week or so. Temperatures will be uh, elevated as we get into the weekend. No complaints here. We'll enjoy it while we can. Our long range outlook takes us through September 22nd. We're looking at above average to well above average temperatures during that time and below average precipitation. Our average high is 76 for September 9th. Our average low, 54. Record high, 98 degrees set in 1931. Our record low in 1947, 37 degrees. How cold it got there. Thinking about leaving the house and debating a jacket, you definitely need something 37 for a low in September, in early September too. Sun will set this evening at 7:57, rise tomorrow morning at 7:10. We're inside that 8 o'clock window when it comes to sunsets. The day's definitely getting shorter and we're starting to feel it. We'll have more on that weather as we move through the broadcast here this morning. Coming up with our market report, who do we got?
Coming up next, we have Abby Terwilliger from the Andersons.
That's right. That's our market report coming up. But first, the weather report today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Hi, folks. This is Terry Henne. You know, if you've got an aging roof, don't even think about replacing it, at least not before you call my friend Ben at RoofMax. Now, RoofMax, it's a revolutionary treatment that restores flexibility and extends the life of your roof. And it saved me thousands of dollars and a big headache. You know, it's safe, it's quick, it comes with a 5-year transferable warranty, and you're working with some really reliable folks. I've seen it myself, and I trust it. Just like you maintain your equipment, your roof needs care too, and RoofMax delivers. Call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's 989-859-6751. Or head on over to askbenhow.com. Schedule your free roof assessment just like I did. Remember, RoofMax, askbenhow.com. Because a little care today can save you a whole lot more tomorrow.
For our Tuesday market report, we're going to head over to the Andersons. We say good morning to Abby Terwilliger. Abby, how are we doing today?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
Hey, I'm enjoying the weather. I took a look at the markets. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but we're kind of all over the place here today. What's going on?
Yeah, so currently right now, actually, everything has turned red. Nothing drastic, though the most down we are is 2 cents, or actually down quarter cents. Nothing too crazy. I guess December wheat is down too. Just kind of a lack of news going on, the lack of Chinese demand. There's nothing to really rally there. They're still saying, even with the corn condition falling a point, they're still saying, it's going to be an excellent harvest of corn. So just not a whole lot going on at the moment in the market.
All right. No news is good news, I guess. we'll ride it out for now.
Yeah, I guess.
Are we looking
It's
forward?
better than going down farther.
Yeah, it's true. Are we looking forward to anything coming up?
Yeah, so this coming Friday, the 12th, is the WASD report. They are, just looking at that, they are expecting to drop the corn ending stocks down to 104 million bushels from last month. and they're expecting the yield to decline to 186. So that's for the 25-26. So I guess it'd be this coming crop. But yeah, so they're looking at that for there. Might see a little bit of movement. I'm not very hopeful anymore for this market to be in the favor of farmers. There's just so many other things, affecting it that didn't used to affect it.
Lots of different factors for sure. So right now on the board, what are we looking at?
Yeah, right now on the board in Hemlock, we have old crop corn at 381, new crop at 356. And also something to think about next fall, harvest 2026, we're at 395. Old crop and new crop soybeans in Hemlock, we're at 961. 2026 crop is 997, pushing that $10. Old crop red wheat 426, next summer 495. Old crop white wheat 470, and next summer 515.
All right, Abby, thank you very much. You have a good one.
You too.
Abby Terwilliger with the Andersons. No Doug Klein today, so we'll take a quick look over at the Mercantile Exchange while I've got it pulled up here. At the last check, live cattle down 425 at 231,550. Feeder cattle down 742.5 cents at 353.52 and a half. And crude oil up 96 cents at 63.22. Market report today brought to you by Weiss Equipment. If you've ever wondered how the Farmall got its name, well, here's just a short list of some of the jobs that Case IH Farmall can do. And we've got some time today, so we might read some more of this list because it's a big one. Baling, cutting hay, feeding, hauling, mowing, chopping, seeding, pulling, raking, cleaning the barn, clearing, irrigating, furrowing, cultivating, hitching, digging, emergency tow, harrowing, hoisting, leading parades, plenty of those going on this time of year. I think you get the picture. I think the Case IH Farmall tractors getting a workout around this time of year, and they range from 35 to 140 horsepower. Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth knows that getting the job done, whatever it is, starts with choosing the right Farmall. That's why they carry a wide range of Case IH compact Farmall series tractors, so you'll find the right fit for your operation. From the value-packed compact Farmall A series to the deluxe compact Farmall C and C series with cabs. Farmall does it all, and with special financing offers on select Farmall tractors, now is the time to put it to work for you. Learn more at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Market report also brought to you by Freeland Bean and Grain. Not too early to be looking down the road. They're your Dairyland seed dealer, carrying a full line of corn and enlist soybean seeds, proven weed control, designed to get you a better harvest. They've got good supply across all Dairyland seed varieties, including the Boar Seed and PowerCore Enlist traded corn hybrids. Contact Justin Varner for more information. Dairyland Seed, they've got seed with your name on it from your friends at Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983, where serving you is their business. We were just talking with Abby Terwilliger, and she mentioned looking ahead down the road at kind of some declining numbers, some pressures internationally that are affecting things. Well, there's a new policy in the works from the USDA that's looking to support farmers financially and see how they can step in different ways. Michigan Ag Today has this report.
USDA is considering aid for farmers and the 2025 crop. With more, here's Eric Pfeiffer.
Thanks, CJ. Deputy Secretary of Agriculture Stephen Vaden says they're considering a bridge policy to help farmers facing low commodity prices. He told reporters that they're grateful for the provisions in the One Big Beautiful Bill. However,
we know that many of the most important pieces of the One Big Beautiful Bill don't come into effect until 2026. So the question is, and we don't get the Commodity Credit Corporation re-upped until really November of this year. And that's after the harvest is largely completed for our corn and soybean farmers.
He says the goal is to get farmers from this growing season to next growing season while they wait for those provisions to kick in.
Now, part of that is the Emergency Commodity Assistance Program, the $8 billion that we have laid out, the Supplemental Disaster Relief Program, the first tranche of which is about $4 billion total that we've laid out. The second tranche will be announced in September, which will cover crop losses that were not covered by crop insurance. And there may be future announcements to come in that respect as well. But all of that is only a partial answer. We are seeking to develop policy solutions to help bridge that. And that's what the Secretary and I are working on, and what she's constantly talking to not only the President, but other members of her cabinet about.
Things in the works at the USDA. You heard mention of the big, beautiful bill. When we come back from this break, we'll be talking with Eric Sawatsky from Yo and Yo Accounting about a different aspect of that bill that removes tax on tips. We'll be back.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts. New parts for old tractors made easy. So simple. All you have to do is call 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. Remember, they share your enthusiasm for your antique machine, and they know that you want to keep it running. That's why they take their job personally at Steiner Tractor Parts, because they understand your life and job both stop if your tractor stops running. Want to make that unit look really sharp this coming summer? Show it off a little bit at the shows? You can do that. Steiner Tractor. For more information, go to steinertractor.com.
Joined now by Eric Sawatsky from Yo and Yo Accounting. I mentioned it a little bit earlier here. Eric, how are we doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
So, what's this about no tax on tips? When does it take effect? What do people need to know?
So, yeah, the no tax on tips, we heard about it a little bit during the campaign and everything. There is a provision in that bill that was passed. It will go into effect. It actually goes into effect this year for 2025, and it will last for 4 years. So 2025 through 2028, this is the new rule. And essentially what it does is it gives an additional deduction on your tax return if you have tip income. You still will report tip income the way you did in the past. So if that's reported to you on a W-2 or however that was reported in the past, you still will report it as income, but then you will, if it's eligible tip income, you will be able to get a additional deduction on your tax return, whether you itemize or not. It doesn't matter if you take the standard deduction or you itemize deductions, you'll be able to take this deduction if you have tip income. The deduction is up to $25,000 in tip income. That will essentially be excluded from your taxable income. So you would have to, obviously, that income would have to be reported. So if it's on a W-2, if it's not, regardless, that income will have to be reported, and then you'd get up to $25,000 to come back off of that taxable income. There are income limits on this, though. We kind of saw this with a few of the other provisions in this bill. If you make more than $150,000 and you're single, or married at over $300,000, then that deduction can start to get reduced. So basically, for every $1,000 you go over those limits, you'll lose about $100 of deduction. But there still is a deduction even if you're over those limits to a point, and then it completely goes away at high income earners. So the biggest thing to know is, one, your tip income is going to still have to be reported as taxable income, but then you will get a new deduction that will exist for the next 4 years. And depending on your income, you may or may not pay any tax on that income for 2025 through 2028. The other thing is what is eligible. And they give a whole long list right now of different occupations that qualify for this, but I'll just give you the main categories. Beverage and food service, I mean, you're thinking about waiters, but they even mention chefs and cooks and dishwashers. So if somebody gets a tip doing that, it would be eligible. Entertainment and events, anything from dancers, musicians, ushers at a event, locker room attendants or bathroom attendants, and then anyone in hospitality, home services, and certain personal services. So quite a broad range of occupations that qualify. So if you have questions on what's eligible there, make sure you talk to your tax professional and get more info on that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Some professions that you don't really think about all that often. I am curious, though. You said it only goes into effect for 4 years. What happens after that? Is there like a renewal process, or does it just go back to the way it is?
Currently, it would go back to the way it is. It may be fully taxable unless Congress decides at some point to extend that or renew it. The way the law reads today in 2029, we'll be back to the old law, and you'll pay tax on tips as you did in the past.
All right. One other thing. Let me make sure I've got this right. No, you did cover that. Okay. Is there anything that business owners need to pay attention to when it comes to this stuff? Does it change anything on their end?
It really doesn't, other than they definitely want to track those tips and make sure it's reported. So making sure they have a good system in place to track the tips.
Which it should already be, because they're already reporting them. So
really should, but in some cases it's only some of the tips get there, right? So if you're reporting that full amount, it's to the benefit of your employees. So nothing's really changing other than just keep good track of that and report all those wages, because they're deductible for the business. Reportable for the business and deductible for the employee. So
all right, good stuff, Eric. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you again.
Sounds great. Take care.
You too. Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting. We'll take a quick break. Got another report from Michigan Ag Today when it comes to some changes coming to wages for different occupations. Some more farm-related things coming down the pike after a court ruling that overturned a few things. We'll have that coming up next.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soybeans, processing the local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal, which is a high bypass soy meal for your dairy herd. They've been doing that since 1991. Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today.
Soil prep for next year begins as soon as the harvest is over. Don't miss out on nutrients you can return to your soil. Applying a Dairy Dew compost blend accelerates the conversion of crop stubble into next year's plant food. That remaining plant material is full of nutrients you want to return to the soil. Dairy Dew blends from Morgan Composting, like K2, Gypsum Plus, and Layer Ash blend with gypsum, helps with decomposition, releasing those nutrients for next year's crops, while also adding good biology and other missing nutrients to your soil. Like a lot of things right now, supplies are limited, so contact Morgan Composting to place your order for fall and lock in your price now. Crops don't wait. The seasons don't wait. You shouldn't wait. Address soil health now for better yields next year. Not sure which is the best Dairy Dew compost blend for your fields? Contact a soil health expert at Morgan Composting for a consultation and soil testing. Call today or visit dairydew.com to learn more.
A district court has overturned a burdensome aspect of a 2023 labor rule, which is good news for farmers and ranchers. The federal court recently decided that elements of the 2023 adverse effect wage rate rule should be eliminated.
This means that we are awaiting guidance from Department of Labor.
John Walt Boatwright, Director of Government Affairs for the American Farm Bureau Federation, explains.
A district court out of Louisiana has recently vacated the 2023 H-2A disaggregation rule, which segregated wage rates based on job functions within the H-2A seasonal agriculture program.
Boatwright says the Department of Labor rule would have been very costly to farmers and ranchers who utilize the H-2A program to fill gaps in the workforce.
It was estimated that the cost of this rule on family farms was going to increase substantially, and our economist estimated that the small family farm was going to see 2 to 3 times the increases that a larger farm would feel. So this is a big win for agriculture and definitely for the small family farm.
He adds there are still significant holes to fix when it comes to accessing farm labor.
This is a positive step forward, but it is not all that needs to be done. We still are seeking fundamental reforms to the adverse effect wage rate, which will still be in effect. We're still advocating for access for our year-round sectors who do not currently have access to the seasonal program, and we're still looking for existing workforce reforms.
In Michigan, the adverse effect wage rate is $18.15 per hour. That's essentially the minimum wage for H-2A farm workers. It's as low as $14.83 in some southern states.
That report from Michigan Ag Today. Time to head over to Bay Landscaping and Garden Center now. We say good morning to Jerry Samolsky. Jerry, enjoying the nice weather?
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be outside on days like today.
Hey, we've got a few more days like today coming up. So what do you got for us?
So this time of year is probably the best time of year to kill dandelions. And people don't really understand that in that, they're not flowering now, so they're really not a problem. But your dandelions are going to be in the ground now. And for them to wake up so early next spring and throw up a flower, they didn't start from seed in the spring. So killing weeds in lawns and dandelions, now is the time. And so you don't have to blanket treat your whole lawn. Just go over where you spot a weed, just give it a quick spritz and away it goes. And that's another thing I think that happens, Jonathan, is a lot of the times that people really just soak the daylights out of the weeds. And, it says mix it to this rate, but I'm going to double it because I want to be sure. You don't need to do that, particularly this time of year. This time of year, plants are getting ready to go into dormancy, so they're growing, and they're taking all they can in, and they're putting it in their roots. And when you put chemical that kills them in the roots, it's a really good thing. So now is a great time to get out, spray, and kill those weeds. So next spring, we don't have those frustrated dandelions and all that kind of thing.
Good advice, Jerry. Don't want to see those popping up in the spring if we can avoid it. You have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Jerry Samolsky with Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. Time to head over to New York now. Or not New York, but find out what's going on in New York. We say good morning to Teresa DeBoe from Baird & Company. Teresa, how are we doing today?
Good morning. Kind of a quiet market so far. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 58 points at 45,574, 343 million shares traded. NASDAQ up about 4 points at 21,803, 590 million shares traded there. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 417.15, down 563. Deere 473.07, down 844. CMS Energy 70.82 up 13. Dow 23.76 down 22. DuPont 76.60 down $1.14. Corteva 72.18 down 77. General Motors 57.83 down 38. Trinzio 237 down 3 pennies. Walmart 102.18 down a dime. Huntington Bank 17.62 down 11. Independent Bank 32.56 down 37, and AT&T at 29.47 up 57.
All right, Teresa, thank you very much. We'll talk to you again.
Take care.
Teresa DeBoe with Baird & Company. We'll be right back.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Krizak's House Family Restaurant. If you've got to supply the food for an event coming up, and there's a lot of them I know, and you've got to supply the food, here's the number, 989-894-5531. You give them a call, tell them what you want, they'll prepare it, have it ready for you, take it back to your event, and you will be a hero at your event. Krizak's House, also a great place to dine in, corner of Cass in Michigan, on Bay City's south side.
Quick recap of the weather. It's an easy one, mostly sunny skies for pretty much the rest of the week. 75 for a high today, 78 tomorrow, reaching up towards 80 towards the end of the week. We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coins in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios. WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland. WSGW FM, Carlton.